The autumn wind is a pirate.
What's up, everyone? This is another episode of Mrradillo's World. I have been MIA. It's been over a month since my last episode. I have been busy being a dad. It's been a new experience, but I'm back and I wanted to put some thoughts on some different things. I wanted to go a little bit more in depth into a couple things with Raiders news, and then I think I'm going to do another episode after this, kind of talking about what's going on in my heart, being a father and things of that nature. But this one, we're going to talk about Raiders specifically. Excuse me, I haven't got a haircut in a bit, so I'm kind of. But we're going to talk about. We got some exciting news. We got a new coach, Klint Kubiak, the Seattle's offensive coordinator, the Super Bowl champion offensive coordinator. But that was more of a defensive game, so. But it looks like they did run up the score. I didn't watch the full thing. We were driving, so I didn't get to really focus on that. But I wanted to kind of go over Klint Kubiak's coaching history and kind of his timeline. So his first coaching job is with Texas A&M. He's an offensive quality control coach, 23 to 24 years old there. He's from that to 2010, 2011, so he's there for 2 years. Then he moves up to a graduate assistant. He's 25, and he's also an inside wide receivers coach. This is for Texas A&M. He gets his first NFL job when he's 26 in 2013 with the Minnesota Vikings, offensive quality control assistants wide receivers coach. He has that for 2 years. And then he is, in 2015, hired by Kansas as the wide receivers coach. So he's 28 at this point. The following year in 2016, he becomes Denver Broncos offensive assistant / QBs. He's 29 and he stays there until he's 31. I think his dad at this point is the Denver Broncos offensive coordinator. I'm going to double check that real quick. Denver Broncos offensive coordinator. What year is that? What year? Okay, so his father, Gary Kubiak, played quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Okay, so it looks like there's that tie to the Denver Broncos. And his father also worked for the Denver Broncos as an offensive coordinator. I wonder when that was. So Kubiak, he attended Colorado State University, where he played safety, and then he kind of went into his coaching career. So let's dive back into that. So from 2016 to 2008, he was offensive assistant QB coach, it looks like, till he's 29 to 31 years old. He gets a second job here with Minnesota Vikings. It looks like there's some type of connections with the Minnesota and the Denver Broncos organizations, which is good. You need connections in life, right? But it looks like he's really worked his way up through the ranks here. In 2019 to 2020, he was a quarterbacks coach for the Minnesota Vikings. In 2021, he was the Minnesota Vikings offensive coordinator. And then 2022, Denver Broncos passing game coordinator and QB's coach. 2023, he was passing game coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, 36 years old at this point. 2024, he was the New Orleans Saints offensive coordinator. He was there with Derek Carr there. So he learned under Shanahan. Then we have a stint with Derek Carr. I forgot I think it was Dennis Allen at the time, if I remember correctly, for the coach there. But then he got fired. He in 2025, this year, or last year specifically, he was Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator, 38, and then he just got hired yesterday, Monday the 9th, as the Raiders head coach. We're super stoked about this guy. This kind of who Raider Nation was wanting. I understand why we went offensive, and we plucked what he did with Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith Najigba. Look at that. I said that right. They tore it up this year, and their running game tore it up. So I understand why we got that. I'm always like more I want a defensive person, but I get the whole prospect because we have the number 1 overall pick. We're going to presumably draft Fernando Mendoza. So this guy is an offensive mind, learned from very good people, looks like. We have Shanahan in here. Forgot who the coach is for all these guys were. Texas A&M 2010. Who was the coach there? Texas A&M Aggies football 2010 head coach. Mike Sherman was the head coach in 2010. Who was? I don't remember when Johnny Manziel was there. I don't think it was at that time. Anyways, just thinking about some different thoughts. I really don't know much about him. I want to study him more and kind of go more into depth of his different scheme and things of that nature. So he was hired by Denver Broncos as an offensive assistant while his father Gary was the head coach of the team. So Gary Kubiak looks like he was the head coach during 2017 season. What year was that? 2017. So, and then he was assumed the responsibility as the primary quarterbacks coach for the final 6 weeks of the regular season after Bill Musgrave was promoted to offensive coordinator. So, interesting. So he was under coach Mike Zimmer from the Minnesota Vikings. Then he was under Nathaniel Hackett from the Denver Broncos. Then Kyle Shanahan for the 49ers. And then looks like, yeah. Anyways, so sorry, I'm getting lost in this research. I need to do a little bit more research, and I want to actually create a timeline of his schemes and things of that nature. I'm going to dive more into that. I usually am I'm not the greatest at that, so I've not studied it in depth, but I want to get more into his schemes and how he's doing and things of that nature and what he's bringing to the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm super pumped. He was the one that most people wanted. And we waited a long time. We waited till the day after the Super Bowl to actually get him confirmed. And we were thinking in typical Raiders fashion, it was going to end up how it normally did. It was going to end up with us getting the short end of the stick for whatever reason in the organization. It seems like there's always issues. And it didn't happen that way. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the future. A lot of optimism in Raider Nation. Number 1 pick. Going to have Fernando Mendoza. Going to have Klint Kubiak. And I'm excited to get this thing building. He signed a 5-year contract. And I hope he stays all these 5 years. I'm tired of the constant turnover. I'm tired of consistently firing and hiring coaches. I want some consistency. And I think Klint Kubiak is going to bring that. Speaking of dysfunction, and we'll talk some more about this, but we have rumors again about Maxx Crosby. There's some rumors out there that he has requested a trade from the Raiders, and it's weird how it's coming out. It's coming out through leaks. Jay Glazer said something. Apparently, that is a very real possibility that he doesn't want to play. Doesn't seem like the Raiders want to trade him, but he wants to be traded. To me, I'm at this point where, if you don't want to be here, peace. Mad Max is the epitome of what it means to be a Raider. Hardworking guy, never quits attitude, never wants to leave the field. Apparently, there was a disagreement, reading between the tea leaves, between someone in the Raiders organization, probably I forgot his name. Spygate? No, it's not Spygate. It's oh my word! Why am I blanking on his name? Raiders GM Spytech. GM John Spytech. Excuse me, John Spytech and Maxx Crosby. So apparently there's some leaks during the Super Bowl, and it's always something. It's always something with the Raiders. We don't really have typical quiet off seasons, and I think it's just because we have such a big brand that people and the Raiders fans are always locked in, and so people just continuously 4 clicks, 4 stories, and things of nature. Do you see that messy bed back there? It needs to be made. but they just consistently have Raiders in the news because it generates actual news, right? Because the stories happen. But this one, it seems like there's a little smoke. It seems like he's ready to win. He's seen a bunch of his former teammates in Robert Spillane and Chase on the New England Patriots actually make it to a Super Bowl. So I think he's probably a little envious. He doesn't want to go through another rebuild because that's been his consistent theme here. Um, Obviously, he didn't help some of that with his advocating for Antonio Pierce to be hired. And then he kind of bowed out to it, and Pete Carroll was hired. But then, obviously, these guys were fired right pretty early. But I'm at the point where if we get a legit offer, even though he's the epitome of a Raider, we trade him. Like, move him out. But if they can salvage this and they can make it better and they can smooth it over and Klint Kubiak can sell the future, um, I would like him to stay. Mad Max is a great player, but no one's above the Shield, right? No one's above the Raiders organization. And it just seems like we consistently, like, bad things attract us. Anyways, then there was another report that he told Tom Brady that he will never play another down for the Raiders. So he would rather retire than play another down. And I'm to the point where, like, this media buzz, this things like this, like, you signed a contract. We have you under contract. I would let you retire rather than trade you if I wanted to keep you, right? I mean, obviously, I don't know if they would do that because the trade capital, the draft capital that we could probably get to rebuild the foundation. We kind of did that with Khalil Mack. That one was more of a surprise than this one. This one, we kind of understand where Max is coming from because it's been nothing but dysfunction. But, however, this is a business and things like this happen. So we'll see what that is. But I'm at the point to where it's like, I love Max. I think he is a Raider. But if you can get 2 first-round draft picks, I think you pull that trigger and let him go. If he's not going to be happy in the building, I think he's always going to be a leader and always going to be a consistent guy. So he's never going to try to bring down the locker room. But for me, like, I don't know how you can just hold on to things like this. But maybe people have a change of heart because it sounds like and like I was saying, he was not happy with being set the last 2 games and to have surgery. So it seems like the organization was protecting Max from himself. But it seemed like he was like, nah, I want to play because that's what type of dude he is. He embodies that Mamba mentality. He embodies that Jordan like life where they just like they compete. That's what they do. They're psychopaths. And I'm down for it. He's a great player. He's a great teammate. He's a hard worker. You never question his effort out there because he's playing broken. So he is a legit player. If they want to do right by him and send him to a team, and we get some draft picks from it, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't be mad about it. Because ultimately, sometimes you just have to move on. You have to shift lanes and things of that nature. But yeah, so I want to dive a little bit deeper into Klint Kubiak. I'm gonna keep going with the off season, see some type of moves once they start getting to that point. Should be here fairly soon. But I wanted to jump on here and talk about the Mad Max rumors and talk about the Klint Kubiak hiring. And it's going to be an exciting offseason. There's never a dull moment with Raider Nation. There's always something consistently happening. So we'll see how it gets worked out in the next couple weeks. Let's see if they smooth things over and Max wants to stay, or if we see him traded here pretty soon. You know what I mean? Like I get it. I get it. I get the not wanting to consistently rebuild. I just think that's a sorry way out. You know what I mean? And like how it's happening as of now with the leak. If Max wants to be gone, I feel like you should just man up, say it, be like, "Hey, I want to get out of here. I love the Raider Nation, but this organization has been dysfunctional." I feel like Raider Nation would respect that more than doing this whole like leaking to the media and then never saying anything about it. Like to me, that's Gen Z behavior. It's just like low key like tweeting at someone or subtweeting back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's just like own what you say what you mean. Don't beat around the bush. You are the franchise player. Say what you mean, right? Don't be cryptic. Don't be tweeting like a high school girl. You know what I mean? Like, and this is it. Like, just say what you mean what you say. I respect that 10 times more than someone just like kind of not actually saying what they're meaning. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing for me. Like I don't get this whole like not being comfortable in what we're saying. If like maybe you shouldn't say it, that's fine. Right? There's some things I shouldn't say, but I don't get this whole like I'm gonna act really like your best friend kind of thing. It's really Southern culture. I'm gonna act like your best friend to your face, then I'm gonna talk mad junk with you behind your back. No, I'm like mean what you say what you mean. So if we have beef, you have problems, come talk to me. Let's handle this. Let's deal with it. Let's squash it. Let's be adults. Let's not like act like we're best friends, but we're not. I don't have any patience for that. I don't have patience for that in the work culture. I don't have patience for that in general. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah. So I've been in this bunker with our baby and my wife, and we've been visiting family and having family visiting and getting to meet on my son, and it's been really awesome, and I'm really thankful. I've been applying for some different Raiders jobs. Don't think those are going to work out, but I definitely going to talk about them a lot more this off season, and I'm just going to probably be a little bit more consistent with talking about them because like I love talking about the Raiders, but I also want to keep this Mrradillo's world, so we're going to talk about other stuff as well, like how I'm feeling spiritually. I want to talk about that. Talk about the transition to parenthood and how that's been and things of that nature. But yeah, but this has been another episode of Mrradillo's World. Thank you for watching. This has been a short one, but I wanted to get some thoughts out there about all this. It's just like just say you want out of the Raiders. Yes, you're gonna catch some flack from the fans, but like mostly we'll understand. We've been watching this dysfunctional thing, and then we're getting picks for you. So it's not like we're mad. Like, yeah, go win, go do your thing, whatever. Like if you don't want to be a part of this and bring it to the top, that's fine. Like it is what it is. You know what I mean? Where is a business? You're not the first person to leave. You're not the first player to not want to be here. It happens. Yeah. Anyways, it's been another episode of Mrradillo's World. I love you guys. Have a great day, night, or morning.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea with a rollicking song.